What's up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? I have something very unique today, so bear with me while I try to explain it before we get to the actual fun part. So my inspiration for this video came after watching Z&G's video, Z&G Emporium, from a couple weeks ago, and he was talking about the expected value of the cards that you pull from any booster pack. And so for those who don't know, you have a sealed pack, right? And it's worth X amount, okay? Now, if you open that pack, you're hoping that the cards within that pack exceed the value of the pack itself, right? So there's nothing worse than, opening a pack that's worth $11 and the contents inside, the cards inside, are only worth $4, right? That's a loss of $7. And the nice thing about the sealed packs is they generally appreciate over time, particularly once we move into a different era or the set is kind of officially out of print. And although today's video will talk about English Pokemon, I often think of Dream League, the Japanese Dream League booster pack set. I used to buy them for $2 to $3 each in Japan. Now they're worth $25 to $30. So they've appreciated almost 10x. And to get back on track, Z&G was saying that with vintage, we have gone to the point with vintage PSA 10 cards. They are so valuable in today's market. He was talking about Japanese in this instance, and even he was saying that some of the common cards that he's been selling that are PSA 10s are worth, $100+. So it got me thinking, I don't have money to go and open a bunch of base set packs to see my expected value and make a video and whether it be worth it or not. So I got Claude and Gemini to build me a simulator. So let's start with Claude's analysis. Gemini's is more fun and incorporates PSA grading into it, and it's more interactive. But for the numbers people, let's start with Claude. So the average price of an unlimited booster pack is somewhere in the region of $650, okay? However, if you open that pack, the expected raw value of those cards, ungraded, is only $90, okay? That means when you open a base set unlimited booster pack, you are expected to lose, on average, 86% of your value. Now let's look into why that is. And we will only look at holos, forget the commons, forget the uncommons. We're only looking at the holos here. So each holo has a 6.25% chance of being pulled, but only 3 of those holo cards will actually yield a near mint price of over $100. The Charizard, obviously, Venusaur, and Blastoise. The OG evolutions, okay? So let's go back to that EV of $90, all right? Where does that come from? The average pack should yield $84.91 from the holographic, $10.50 for the uncommon, and just a measly $3.50 from the commons. So Claude says, please, for the love of God, do not risk opening a pack for a Charizard. You have a 6% chance. It's not worth it, okay? Even if you open 100 packs, it's likely that your average value will be around $90 a pack. So I decided to ask Claude to run 100 simulations of opening a pack. And I actually had a positive EV compared to the expected EV. My average pack was worth $93, so $3 more than expected, yielding $9,300 in total value out of 100 packs. That sounds awesome, until you realize I wasted $65,000 on opening sealed packs. If I just kept them sealed, they'd be worth $65K. So Claude's recommendation to me was do not open packs ever. So now let's move over to Gemini, okay? Gemini's a little bit different and worked a little bit differently. It's estimating each pack to be worth $677.50, so slightly higher than Claude's estimation. But unlike Claude, we aren't just focusing on the ungraded near mint copies, right? I have asked Gemini to allow me to open a pack and then select which cards I would like to grade with PSA. However, I put a stipulation in here. I did not want them all to turn out to be PSA 10, so I did tell it to assess the likelihood of getting a PSA 10. And what it told me was that it's going to assume a 2 to 8% likelihood for holos to be a PSA 10. So it's going to assume a 92 to 98% fail rate at PSA 10s. Okay, most of these will be PSA 9 or lower. And it told me that within its research, it found that basically overall, the average success rate for a PSA 10 was about 5% with unlimited. So I'm going to trust it for now. As my brain already hurts from trying to fix its code multiple times. And then we're also going to incorporate grading fees, okay? Just because you send something off to PSA does not mean that you don't have to pay for it. So these cards, we're going to assume a $25 grading fee for each card. And then we're going to finish with the net profit and loss. And let's see if we can actually get at least one profitable pack. All right, so let's begin. I'm going to rip a pack worth $677.50, and hopefully it is going to be good. So we're going to open the pack. This is a terrible pack. Honestly, I honestly probably ran through like 20 simulations, and I don't think I got a pack as bad as this one, ever. So it's saying I had a total pulled value of around $27. That is god-awful. The only card I would grade out of all these is a Pikachu. I think Pikachu is always worth grading. Someone's gonna pay for it. So I'm going to risk grading it for $25 to see if I can get something that's worth $30 or more. So I'm gonna send this to PSA, and it comes back at PSA 9. All right. So I actually made a bit of profit on that one. It's up, $10 basically. It went from $5 to $40, but with the grading fee of $25, it's already $30. So it's a profit of $10, right? So our pulled value increases to 62. We still lost $640 worth of estimated value of the pack. All right, I'm going to rip another pack. Hopefully we get a much better one this time. No, this one is equally as bad, probably. I'm going to rip another one. I'm going to wait until I get a holo, at least. This one, also bad, just because I started recording. These are all terrible packs now. All right, finally. Okay, this is a good pack. Finally. Okay, so our expected value was $90. Our total pooled value is $96.70. So we are in plus EV territory here, people, okay? We needed either a Blastoise, a Charizard, or a Venusaur. We got the Blastoise, right? It's worth about $77.70, roughly. Like I said, Gemini gets these prices wrong. I think it'd probably be slightly higher than that, but we're going to go with it anyway, okay? I am going to send 2 Pokemon to be graded this time. I'm going to send the Blastoise and the Pikachu, okay? We really need a PSA 10 from the Blastoise. Let's see what we can get. PSA 9. That is really good, okay? We made a ton of money off of that, okay? So from $77 to $1,000, we've exceeded the pack cost. It was worth ripping this pack, okay? Now we have so much money to play with. I'm going to send the Pikachu as well, like I said previously. Only a PSA 8, okay? So we actually lost money on the Pikachu, all right? Cost $25 to grade. It's only worth $20. We lost $5 actually grading that, so we lost $10 overall. So that's good. This is like one way to show that it does work, but I also had to open, remember, 4 packs to get a pack that actually netted profit of, what is it, $306.50. Not that great. All right, I'm going to rip another pack. Hope for a Charizard. Nothing. Terrible again. This is just showing you how difficult it is to actually, one, pull a holo. I feel like I can't really get, like, not a holo, but a good holo. One that's worth grading. The only thing that's coming up is Pikachu every single time. I'm going to rip another pack. Same thing. Really difficult. I feel like the odds are against us. Okay, we got a holo here. We got a Raichu. $40 total pulled. A huge loss. We'll send this to PSA. It comes back a 9. Even with a 9, we're nowhere near close to making a profit. Nowhere near. So you really need like PSA 10s literally across the board. And a lot of the time it's just not worth grading these smaller cards, like a Coughing, for example. It's a PSA, it comes back a PSA 9. It's worth about $20. You spent $25 grading it. It's not worth it, right? I'll rip another one. Nothing. I'm just going to keep opening these packs. All right, after a while, I finally got another one that is one of the OG starter Pokemon, Venusaur. $58 raw. I'm going to send it to PSA. It's come back at 8. Still a loss, right? You need a 10 um, from these cards to really like make any dent in the pack cost. And there it is. Finally, we have a Charizard. All right, a Charizard. I do not think that price is right. I think I put it closer to about $500. But nonetheless, for illustrative purposes, I'm going to send this one to PSA, right? Unless it's a PSA 5 or below, I highly doubt that we're going to lose money on this. So I'm going to send it. It gets a PSA 9, $3,000. We make $2,300. It's worth it, right? So the tale of the story, the tale of kind of like this simulation here is when I ran it on Claude, my average pack was, $93, worth around $93 if I didn't grade anything, right? Absolutely not worth it. Nowhere close. Even when I'm grading stuff, though, even when I'm grading, it doesn't make a difference unless you get a Blastoise in PSA 9 or 10, a Venusaur in PSA 9 or 10, or a Charizard in a PSA 9 or 10. It's not worth it. It's a huge gamble and one that you're likely to lose. So like this example here, I'm just going to grade absolutely everything. So we send the Chansey, get a PSA 9. Send the Kadabra, it's a 9. We haven't seen a 10 yet, actually. I suppose we're only assuming a 2 to 5% success rate. Weedle, 9. Rattata, 9. Metapod, 9. 9. Couldn't get a 10. So it's just so difficult. And even if we get 9s and 8s across the board, our pooled value is $291, but we spent $250 grading it. So we're only at $41 in total pooled value. It's just not worth it. I think this was a fairly fun experiment. Obviously, the AI needs to be a little bit more accurate and stuff, but overall, I've had a blast. I hope you did too. It's just I would just use this as kind of like a reference for educational purposes. Of course, if you want to rip a pack, go and do it. I am just telling you, it's unlikely that you're going to get the card that you want to make your pack worth it. Modern is a different story, and I'll probably do Modern at a different point, but I thought we would start with, the vintage WotC base set unlimited. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it, and I hope to see you again soon. Thanks.